Hobby Streaker, stripping down your hobby to its bare plastic. Hi everybody, welcome to the Hobby Streakers, episode 5. As always, my co-host Liam is there. Say hi.
Hello. I'm alive.
You're alive. We're. It's been one of those weeks for both of us. I guess like weekends too. But hey, we're doing this. We're having fun. Again, thank you everybody for the subscription, for following us on the Twitter and the groups and the Discord and all that stuff. Don't forget, like, subscribe. We're not gonna say 20 times because that's freaking annoying when you watch a video, so we're just gonna do it now. You might see a pop-up during the podcast a few times, but just and a reminder at the end. But hey, please subscribe. It really helps. So I'm on day 193, I believe. So getting close to my 200. Woohoo! And you are on 3,000.
Well, 1,369.
1,369. Cool. All right. Good.
I think.
Yeah. So.
If I remember properly.
Something that we have not done before, well, we have not said, is there is an email, which is thehobbystreakers@gmail.com, all in one word. Please send us question. If you do not like to post comments in YouTube, or if you're listening on the podcast and you have comments or questions, hobby related or not, it doesn't matter. Please just go ahead and send those to us. We have the Discord up and running. Thank you, Liam.
Yeah.
So what's up with that?
Yep, it's basically ready to go. We've got a couple of people hanging out on there at the moment. So feel free to jump in, start having a chat with people. If you've got any ideas for channels that I might have missed, then let me know. I can get those set up. We've also got emote slots, so if you have any idea of any kind of emotes that we should have,
can we do the logo as an emote?
Yeah,
right, cool.
I mean that's the easy one. I just need to remember to do it.
Alright, nice. Alright, well, thank you for that again. Just come hang out, post your stuff, ask question. We've been talking a little bit more on 3D printing, which will be a new topping. Yeah, a new topping on your pizza. A new topic this week. So we'll see. We'll start talking about that a little bit. We'll see. We'll introduce a new section. I'll try to keep it short. But yeah, I would like to talk a little bit more about 3D printing. I think some people are interested into that, so we'll do that. So shout out. You had a shout out.
Yeah, my shout out. One of the many people that I managed to get to sign up to the gaming club that I helped run while we were closed because of lockdown is a gentleman called Arthur. He is at 2grey2game on Twitter and Instagram.
Yeah, I've seen him active. Yeah, he's been pretty active, so that's cool.
He's been working his way through Blackstone Fortress and is now working on some ambles for Necromunda, or Ambots, I think they are, rather.
Okay, cool.
And he's having a play around with chipping medium.
Alright.
And that's
nice.
looking really good. So I just thought I'd
that is pretty cool.
Point more people in his direction because he's doing some good work.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Well, thanks for that. So I did not have a shout out, but I will. So there is this guy, Brave Sir Dave. He's got a podcast, audio podcast called Layers. His vocabulary is really nice compared to, you know, like sometimes you hear some podcast and they're just cursing just for cursing, which kind of, I think it's ridiculous. Anyways, he goes into a lot of details on painting techniques and paints and brushes and things like this. I don't agree with all of his choices, I have to say. But that is the hobby for you. I mean, yeah, it's not everybody's on the same page and not everybody will agree. But again, like his podcast is really cool. I'll put a link to his podcast as well. So if you're done listening to us and you don't know what to do, just go ahead and give him a listen. It's a pretty nice, chill podcast. So yeah. Today I am doing Mr. Falcon Captain America. Not too sure if I'll be done today. I'd like to finish the reds today and see where that takes me, but that's pretty much. I might start working on the explosion afterwards. We'll see. So that's my painting for today. Did you manage to figure out what you're gonna paint after this guy? What was the poll?
Yeah.
So
everybody said I should paint the Annihilators, so I've got the Annihilators out.
nice. Are those the big dudes?
The big chunky dudes.
Yes, with the big hammers. Yeah, cool.
Big hammers and the big shields.
Nice. All right, cool.
And just before we started recording, I was listening to the Age of Sigmar Stats Center from the Honest Wargamer, and apparently somebody did quite well at a tournament over the weekend with lots of minimum strength units of Annihilators.
All right.
Because they
hit like a
they
ton
deep
of
strike
brick.
and do lots of damage when they deep strike.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. They hit like a ton of bricks. So yeah, that would
And
make
then
sense.
when they charge, they hit like a ton of bricks. So
Yeah. All right, cool.
that's good. And
Cool.
yeah, so highlighting up the Praetors today and finishing them up, and then I'll try and get started on the Annihilators. Is the plan.
All right. So what did you do the past 2 weeks?
Well, last Saturday,
Yep.
I graded to my Yondan, my 4th degree black belt,
Cool.
which was fun,
All right.
hard, all of the above.
Oh yeah.
So
I've seen the picture on Facebook as well. That's pretty cool.
couple of days after that was some low effort hobby streak because everything hurt.
Yeah. I bet.
But
Yeah.
other than that, I finished a Knight Zephyros. She's a little lass running around with 2 axes. She hits people with those. Finished one of the 2 Gryph-hound statues that I got for the Mortal Realms magazine.
Yeah, those are nice. I saw
Started
that,
on the second one.
Cool.
And then I built the rest of the last delivery. And that's sat over there,
All right.
waiting for me to prime it in the morning.
Is that the last one?
If it's still nice.
Or
We've got 2 deliveries left.
which are gonna be at the same time, right? That's what you were saying last time.
No.
No. Okay.
No, you get 4. You get 4 magazines at a time.
Okay.
So this next delivery is going to be 1 model for the Nighthaunt side,
Okay.
because it's the big centerpiece
Yep.
model that they're finishing
That's
with.
what you were saying.
So
Yeah.
they're sending.
Cool.
So they're splitting that over 4 issues if you're buying it in the shops. But if you subscribe, then you're getting all 4 of those at the same time. And then the last one will be the big centerpiece model for the Stormcast.
All right. Oh, that's cool.
Isn't one of the new dragons.
Yeah. Is that it?
That, yeah.
So
I was having a look. And
so
I was
what's your
really
can you talk about your secret project stuff, or is that gonna be for the next podcast?
Secret project stuff. Secret project stuff. I'm doing secret. If you haven't seen on my Twitter, I'm doing a secret project.
All right. Well, so we won't.
So
when are we gonna have the big reveal?
I can show you that.
When are we gonna get the reveal? Okay, that's a base. Yay! Awesome. That doesn't really help. So when are you gonna do the reveal then?
When it's all done.
Oh, okay.
/ at the event that I'm getting it done for.
Nice, cool.
I might show you.
Oh yeah.
Because you're in a different country, and therefore you can't spill the beans to people.
And if you tell me not to spill the beans, I won't. All right. Well, I didn't do much in a way. Well, so I worked on this big guy, Mr. Whoa, it doesn't even fit in the camera. So Mr. Lizard. Really had fun with this. So he's coming out of his sewer with the water splashing, and I went just crazy with washes and contrast paint and all kinds of crap on the on the water to make it nice and looking like dirty, nasty sewer water. And I think it came out pretty well. So worked on that for quite a while. Did the painting and everything. Then I ended up doing some trash. So the basis of Marvel Crisis Protocol, they come with either a beer bottle type thing or some cans, crush cans, or some like styrofoam cup kind of thing, looking like a plastic glass or styrofoam cup style container. So there is a different ones depending on the bases that you get. There is a couple of base, and so yeah. So I took a few of those, glued them to a stick, and then starting just going and making. So I make a Pepsi. I made a Pepsi, a Coke can. I made a Michelob Light and a Stella Artois beer bottles, and I made a McDonald's McCoffee and a Starbucks mug type thing. So, and then I glued those to the base and to the water, and just added trash to the water. Then again washed on it, and then ended up putting and this is gonna be something that I've tried, and so I'll talk about it, but the water effect from Vallejo, and I'll talk about it, but yeah, mixed result, let's just put it that way. So that's pretty much what I did. I worked on Sin, which is not very well known. She's the daughter of Red Skull, I believe. Which I broke just before starting this podcast, of course. So now I need to clean her boots because I broke her at the feet and her head came off. So that was awesome. And I ended up messing her face before, so I ended up stripping her entire face again and doing all that. It's just, that was a mess. What else did I do? I reorganized, I cleaned my hobby space and my print space, where my 3D resin printer is. I ended up doing a few 3D prints. I did a cup, which looks a lot like the GW pot, and it's just been, it's a ripoff. I mean, the guy redesigned it probably like I did for the holders for the pots. Like, you look at how it's made and just redo it. So that was a nice print. Ended up leaking on the bottom because I didn't put enough layers, so I just siliconed it. and I printed a resin vat dumping station kind of thing, because when you have a print and either it fails or you want to put the resin away, you dump it in a little container, and then this makes it so that you can leave it and it just keeps draining for a long time, so that you get as much of the resin away and out of the thing as possible. So that's pretty much what I did. Yeah, that's... And then yesterday I also cleaned my wet palette by just dunking it in LA Totally Awesome, which we talked about. Like, you don't know what that is, but it's a cleaner thing that it works pretty well for stripping paint. Right now I will probably use isopropyl alcohol, the 91%, instead of that. But for cleaning my wet palette, seeing how big that was, I was not gonna do that, because that's a lot more expensive. Where the LA Totally Awesome is just $1 for a bottle, so it's pretty cheap. And it works pretty well too, so yeah. And that's about it.
Good to hear.
Oh, and I did a lot of processing the videos and all this, so it didn't take that long. It's just that I did not really have much time last week, so yeah, I ended up not taking as long, not being as fast as the previous one was, because the previous one I had more time, so I could do it. But I felt like it took me way more time to do it because I just didn't have time. What else? Well, so my dog was sick, which that wasn't good. Last Friday, starting being really sick. He vomited and everything, and he just like looked like crap. That poor doggy. So I took it to the vet. He gave me some stuff to like nausea and things so that he would, but that didn't do anything. The poor dog didn't eat at all the whole weekend. So yeah, well, between Friday and Monday, basically barely ate anything, and it just was, I was getting really concerned. So I took him again to the vet yesterday, and it ended up that he's got some kind of infection. Exactly what, we're not sure, but now he's got antibiotics, and yeah, so hopefully he's gonna be better. He's already a lot better today, but yeah, hopefully that's just gonna get better and better, and he's gonna get out of it. But yeah, that was pretty much it. Now, like I said, so I tried this water texture from Vallejo, and they tell you, oh, you can, like, don't put it more than 3 millimeters thick, blah blah blah. And I put it in the base of Lizard, in the little he's coming out of the sewer, so in the little sewer thing I put it in so that it would look like there's water in there. That did not work. It completely shrank, and just, yeah, it's okay. What's left still looks okay, but it's not what I had in mind, basically. So I was pretty disappointed. So then I used it as on top of my painting and on top of the water and everything, to make it look like it's wet. And that actually turned out really well. So the water itself now looks really wet. And I put some splashes on Lizard here and there, so that he has looks like he's got some patches, and his skin is a little wet at certain places, and it's just like, because he's coming out and he's still splashing with the water kind of thing. And that turned out pretty well. So I'm, again, mixed feeling about it, but I think that from now on I'll use it as a, just as a, not as a glaze, but as a varnish kind of thing on top to make it look like it's shiny, and basically makes it look like it's water. So yeah, that's that's what I've done. Now, I've tried something else, which I'm gonna have to grab because I need to break them today. I tried to do mixing resin for 3D printing. So there is one resin already that I talked about before, which is the fast resin from Tech, which is pretty nice. Better than the original, better than the one that I used initially, which was a lot more brittle, and I was really not happy with how brittle it was. So then I got the tenacious resin, and that is super flexible, like really flexible. You can print with it right away, like by itself, but it's just really flexible, and I'm not sure it's like it would be a good idea to just print with that. I think you will lose a lot of details as well because it's just too flexible. So a lot of posts online you'll find they will talk about mixing 5:1 ratio of the Tech Fast and Tech Tenacious, and that would give you something similar to what you have for miniatures, like sprue level of basically flexibility and durability.
All right.
So, well, let's talk about. Well, so I was gonna ask, did you try anything? You put on our little document that you have not, but maybe since then you did.
No.
No new technique, no nothing. Dude, you have to try new things, man.
Trying to get stuff done.
Well, yeah, but you need to have fun.
And if I am trying anything new, it might be on my secret project that I can't talk about.
Oh, damn it. That's cool. That would be cool. All right. Well, so let's talk. Should we do the poll?
Streaker poll.
Streaker poll.
Because it's next on the
document,
and I can't be bothered to scroll down.
All right. So we did a streaker poll. We asked, and it's gonna pop up on the screen. We asked people, how do they prime their minis? And so, yeah, that poll just didn't work at all. It I don't know, something is wrong, because a lot of people said Rattle can, and I'm just no. I'm just kidding. So a lot of people say Rattle can. Of course, I mean it's basically the primary means of priming. That's a lot of prime. Primeception. Woo! Here we go. So pretty much everybody uses Rattle can at one point or another. I mean, even the people like me that got an airbrush will still Rattle can some stuff. Whether it's terrain or a mini because you cannot be bothered to get the airbrush out. And I'll go a little bit more into this because I think that there was a comment from someone that really made me think that I might be doing something different. For me, it's never a hassle to get the airbrush out. I mean, I don't get it out. It's right there next to me. But what I mean is, a lot of people, they think that they will spend, 10 minutes priming with the airbrush, and then they'll spend 10 minutes cleaning the airbrush. And I think that that's where there is a lot of people that have issues with that, because you don't have to spend that much time. Venturella, I think, has a really nice, I think it's him that I've seen, he's got an awesome video about this, like how to clean the airbrush. And if you follow his technique, you clean your airbrush in 30 seconds. Like literally. You can switch color in 30 seconds, and if you want to do a deep clean before you put it away, you're going to spend like maybe 30 minutes. You're going to spend 1 minute pretty much. And so since I've started doing what he says in his video, that just goes super fast. And I'll try to put a link if I can find the video again. But I mean, just look for Vince Venturella on YouTube and airbrush cleaning. And yeah, it's very simple.
Probably be under his hobby cheats.
Yeah, probably
series.
Yeah, hobby cheats series. What you do is, and I'll go through it like super fast. That's an airbrush, and what you do is basically once you have this, usually what you do is you have one bottle that is gonna be used for like a squirty bottle like this with a little nozzle, so that you can like press and it squirts like in labs and stuff like this. Squirt it in there, rinse it out, squirt it in there, rinse it out. And then what you do is you use with water and cleaner, put it in there, and do not because people, what they do is then they blow it out. And they blow it out and they try to get that, all the thing coming out and coming out. No, so what you do is you backflow, so you plug the front, backflow, dump it, do that again, backflow like 2 or 3 times. Then whatever is left, that's what you go through the airbrush. Let it go through the airbrush. Clean the front maybe if you want with like a Q-tip dipped into cleaning product. And that's it. You're done. Like literally that's it. And I've been doing that. And I've been using the primer. And we'll talk about our favorite primers. But I've been using the Monument Hobby primers. The black and the white to do my black and white zenithal. And those are great. Last time I spent probably almost 30 minutes priming and never had a clog. And Vallejo has some really nice, they have some really nice primers, but they will tend to clog. I usually put a little bit of thinner with it because it won't go through. So that's my experience with airbrush. And again, for me, yeah. I used to do Rattle can, I used to do Army Painter, and then after that I was like, yep, no. It's a big issue with weather. So not that you cannot prime, and I'm pretty sure that you have the experience too with, and you'll talk about your Rattle can experience because you probably have a lot more than I do. But what I used to do is, because it's super cold here, I used to have the Rattle can in a bath of water, like hot water, for about 10 minutes. Then I would go into the garage, spray the model with a mask, because that's nasty, especially in the garage. Then bring the model back inside into a separate room, because again, that decasification, it's nasty, it still smells for quite a while. And then when that's done, then I go back to, and I can use my model. And so that's what I was doing. And you can do that whether it's humid, it's dusty, or whatever. You can do it if you prime inside. But then you prime inside, it stinks in the garage if you have a garage, and you're lucky to have a garage. If you don't have a garage, then like if you have a basement or a cave, or, I mean, it's just gonna be nasty. So yeah, I understand like a lot of people have issues with getting that done during, especially like during time like winter and things like this, or heavy rains, and that's always an issue. So what do you use, mister?
I use Rattle cans. Yeah, I'm on the workshop cans because
Reasons?
they're easy to get hold of, and I'm lazy. But yeah.
Have you tried any other?
Couple of times if I'm doing like big scenery projects, or when I was spraying, I've got a load of MDF boards that I can chuck on my kitchen table to use as like baseboards if I've got people over to game.
Uh-huh.
So I've picked up like Halford's primers and stuff like that. So
Yeah, which is the equivalent of Rust-Oleum or Krylon in the US, which is the hardware store brand, basically.
Yeah, Halford's is a chain in the UK that is there's car stuff.
Yeah, no, and you can find, I mean, like in the US, that, like I said, in the US, that would be the equivalent to Rust-Oleum or Krylon, which you can find in any hardware store, Walmart, and all those places you can find those cans. So, yeah.
Yeah. So, cool. Yeah, I don't think it quite gets as cold here as it does where you are, but
well, you don't get minus 40 where you are? Celsius. Well, and that's the thing. No. Minus 40 is, by the way, just a completely irrelevant side note, but minus 40 is the only temperature that's the same in Fahrenheit and in Celsius. So when it's minus 40, it doesn't matter which unit, except Kelvin. But it's, yeah, so minus 40 degrees Fahrenheit and minus 40 degrees Celsius, it's the same. It's freaking cold.
Yes. Yeah. Lost my train of thought now.
Sorry. So you don't get temperature like I do, but
no,
you do get humidity, right?
We do get the Great British weather.
Yeah.
For example, yesterday it was sunny, and then it rained for 10 minutes, and then it was sunny, and then it rained for 10 minutes, and then it was sunny, and then it rained for 10 minutes.
So what do you do what do you do then when it's like this?
Well, either I look outside and go, well, I'm not getting any priming done today.
Okay.
Or I go,
let me prime somewhere.
And I look out and I go,
maybe I have a window
I might have a good 10 minutes.
Nice.
Rush out to the garden. I've got a big box.
Yeah, usually.
On top of a garden table.
Cool.
And I spray into that. Or if I've got a really big piece, I put it on the top of that and I spray onto that. And then I bring it in. And like you say, it still stinks. So I leave that. We've got a little porch thing in the back of our house. So I'll leave that in there for like a couple of hours to let it de-stinkify.
So have you ever gotten any issues when you do this? It looks okay. You bring it, and if you leave it kind of outside, that it just looks weird. Like
times.
Like the, how do they call it? Orange peel type of thing. Like this weird gray, like orange peely surface on it. There's a lot of people that talk about those.
I've done like a silver primer on some tanks, and it's been a bit weird with the weather.
Yeah.
And it's sort of, you can see that it's kind of pulled a little bit in places. So there's some, like, if I'm doing a silver primer, most of the time I'll prime black first, and then prime the silver over the top. So sometimes you can kind of see the silver, the black through the silver or something, and yeah, I think that's probably either I didn't shake it enough or I haven't warmed it. Stuck it in a warm water bottle for 10 minutes or so first, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So that's on me being impatient and trying to get stuff done
quickly. Yeah.
Quickly, I think.
No, and that's the main issue that I have with Rattle can is just like one of the main issue for me is just the smell. It's just annoying, and it's just
No, but I spray in my garden, so I've got a well ventilated area to go through. I know some of my friends will take their priming. Can't talk today. Take their spray priming outside and do it on their wheelie bin or something.
Yeah.
Which I imagine pisses the council off no end.
Probably, yeah. Well, yeah, last time I did something, I did it in the with spray can. I did it in the on the grass, and I just put some more green on the grass, but not the same green, so that was just weird. But yeah, and again, yeah, I think it depends on what you are, what you want to do, and like I'll still use Rattle can, and I think a lot of people are saying there's no difference between like a hobby Rattle can and like the hardware store, but I think there is. I mean, it's just when I prime with like I had the Army Painter black and I had the Rust-Oleum black, and maybe Krylon is better. I don't know. I've never used Krylon, but and I had both, and I primed something, and I'm like, that there's a big difference. Like one, if one you can. The problem is the hobby store one is, and I think that's the nozzle more than anything else. But you can overspray very easily and just completely clog the details, and then you'd like, wasn't there like some striation on that piece of armor or something? It's just freaking gone. And so, and I think that is a big issue there. And for me, I think that this is one of the main issue, and one of the main advantage of having an actual hobby primer. And again, your mileage may vary, your experience might be different, blah blah blah, all this caveat on it. But yeah, I never been able to do something like as clean with the hobby store, with the department store type primer than with the actual hobby primers. And I really liked when I was using them.
I think what you need to do if you're doing something like that is you need to check on the can and see what it's designed for, because I think there are, like I say, different kinds of primers that are for different kind of things. And if it's like a outdoor use on your house or your car or whatever, then
oh yeah, no, yeah, for sure, yeah.
Probably don't spray your model with that.
And I think there is there is one type of primer that I've used for terrain, and it's that piece right here, and that is texture primer. So yes, that one is kind of like these sandy sand particles in it, and for building it turned out really great. And
I've got some of that.
So
I've got a desert board that I've sort of got like a 6x4 or 3 2x4s of MDF, sprayed one side of each of those with some of that, and now I've got a desert board.
Oh no, yeah, those are great. So again, different use. I will not use my airbrush on terrain, except like small pieces like you were doing with your like the little statue, something that size. Yes, I probably will still prime it, but even that I'm not sure. I might just go for the Rattle can. So anything terrain would still be, for me, would still be Rattle can. And again, so the Rattle can was the most the most answers, most votes. Thank you. And so now the brands, there was a few, Citadel, GW, whatever you want to call them. There was a few, Army Painter, which again I think is a really, really good brand. I don't like their paints, and I think that it might have been because I don't use them properly, because you need to remove the little excess thing on the top. And we'll talk about paint, I'm sure, in a follow-up episode one of these days. But yeah, I do like some of their product, Army Painter, and so Rattle can is definitely one of those. And then there was just a lot of people that were like, yeah, I would just use the the hardware brand, and it's just fine. So yeah, again, I think it varies from people to people. There is one person that says no need to prime.
I was going to say, what? Who? What?
Well,
Who hurt you?
the only minis that I know that you can get away with it is the Whiskids, because they're already primed.
Yeah.
So the Whiskids, which I have, is an elf, I think, something. Those come in pre-primed with Valero Gray primer. So I know that those you technically do not have to prime them, and you can just go for it straight away. But then you got mold lines and blah. So again, up to you. But yeah, so well, some people still, and I think that who was Goobs, Mr. Goobertown Hobby, did a test with, do you need to prime and do you need to varnish your mini? And I think that was a pretty funny one. And it does make it does make it different for the paint to stick better, I think. But anyways, so prime your minis, use whatever you like. If you can get an airbrush, honestly, I mean, like, you can find, and I know some people, they have their super fancy hairbrush and they do all kind of things with their airbrush. I don't. I got a very basic, I think it was like $100 with the compressor, 3 different airbrushes, and like all kinds of, yeah. So on Amazon for super cheap. So, something like this just works great. If you don't want to do an actual painting, airbrush painting, that is perfectly fine to do. You can do your priming, you can do your zenithal highlight if you want, and you can just go ahead and like do all the things. You can even do base coating without any problem. After that, if you want to start doing like precision work and all this, just forget about it, because it's not precise enough and all this. But I think it's still a pretty good idea to get an airbrush. I know a lot of people are talking about space as well. Technically, you don't need that much space. You can even have a closet if you want to just do it in a closet. It's fine, as long as you put a mask, and you need one of those respirator masks, because then you don't have the vapors and the nasty smelly stuff, but you still have the particles. And that's about it. So yeah.
Don't breathe paint.
Yeah. But it's just so much better. It doesn't smell or anything. I made myself a booth with some like PVC melamine boards and stuff like that, and just with the van to go extract outside. Yeah, so again, airbrush if you can. If you cannot, find a primer that you like, find a primer that works for you, and be happy. So you like GW primers? Any recommendation on colors? Like the best colors that you can have on those?
Their blacks are black.
Well, no. This is the thing. So I've always heard that their black is really good.
Yeah.
But because black is not, they're not all the same.
Their whites can be a bit
chalky.
hit or miss.
Yeah, I heard it was chalky.
Their contrast base colours come out really smooth. So
Okay.
like the Wraithbone and the Grey Seer.
Yeah. All right. Cool.
They come out really smooth, and
Good to know. I've not tried those, so yeah. Cool.
The Wraithbone is that sort of colour, so it's like an off-white sort of.
Yeah. No, I know what they look like. It's just like I said, I never tried those, but
the people at home might not.
Oh, come on. Have you been living on a rock and you don't know, like, you've never seen contrast paint and they're... And all, well, I guess you're right.
Some
I guess
people
you're right. Like
hear contrast paint and go, nope, I don't want anything to do with it. It's wrong. It's bad. I don't like it.
No, well, I'm not... yeah. I'm saying that most people have seen the contrast paint, not necessarily the contrast primer. This is what, yeah. So you're right. So what's the other one?
The Wraithbone comes out really smooth.
Yeah. All right, and that's an off-white, and then the other one is the Grey Sear, right?
Grey Sear is
grey.
Ish.
Ugh, come on. Can they just give names that actually mean what it is?
Yeah, it's like a really white grey.
All right.
So it's this kind of colour. I'll hold that up to.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right.
They come out quite smooth. I like their lead broacher spray because that's what I'm using a lot of at the moment for my Stormcast.
So you just just zenithal highlight, or you just prime them all with that?
Just job done.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, because I'm whacking contrast over the top of that, so that does most of the
metallic shine looking.
Yeah. So yeah. The reason I'm doing that is because I'm whacking a metallic over the top, and so it doesn't need to be.
Yeah, but those
zenithal,
can so is it how does it go on? Because like some of the metallic primer can be nasty. Like they're just I've tried some in just basic like hardware store ones. Yeah, it's fine for big PCs.
The GW Gold can be a bit moody, temperamental.
You need to shake it for 2 hours.
Yeah. And give it a hot bath and whisper in its ear.
Alright. Okay, well. So yeah, people again, find something you like. GW has some good products. Army Painters. Painter.
Army Painter.
Painter has some good product. I liked their black Army Painter. I thought it was really, really nice. And their white was not too bad. As far as airbrush is concerned, if you can get the hold of Monument Hobby, get those. I mean, I love Vallejo and a lot of their product, and I love their paints. But and I like their primer. They're nice, but the Hobby, Monument Hobby primers are just great. They're just awesome. And for the same price as you get, well, basically a small. Where am I? Yeah. So Vallejo 60 mil, you'll get the same as 120 mil price. So yeah. I think I will need to double check on that, and again, if I'm wrong, sorry about that, but I know that I found I was like, huh, yeah, it's the same, it's the same price, so it was a little bit more expensive than Vallejo. Why should I take this? And then I was like, oh, 120 mil, double the size. So that's where you might wanna go. But yeah, they're just awesome. I mean, really, again, spend 30 minutes with those and not one clog without putting anything in it, no thinner or anything like this. So yeah, really good. Another little quick tip on airbrush: if you want to store it for a long term, or if you want to give it a quick clean, get a sonic cleaner, put water, a little bit of airbrush cleaner in it, like this, and Iwata makes a really nice airbrush cleaner, really nice airbrush too. Dump it in there, leave it in there for a month. It doesn't matter. It's fine. Uncle Adam does that. I started doing it after he said it. I was listening to him and I was like, all right, let me try that. Once I got my airbrush, I don't do it that often anymore. I just leave it there. It's fine. It's clean. So yeah. Again, your mileage may vary, but if you have issues with your airbrush, then you should really like look into it because it should be really, really nice. Get that fly. Is it a fly?
Little moth.
Oh.
Let's
Leave that moth alone. Alright. Let's break some minis. Alright, Mr. is gonna go on the side. Let me... Oh, that's not... That's gonna be... Alright. Now probably the sound is all messed up now. Because I need to grab... Alright, there we go. Whoop.
right.
And the camera,
3D printing,
and the sound, and all that stuff. So 3D printing. So we were talking on the Discord with Caleb, and we started talking about 3D printing, which ended up adding a 3D printing section to the Discord. Yep. And so I decided to print those guys, which are, and I know you don't see mine, so let me just like, yeah, they're like bone claw type guys, and they're, yeah. So I printed some in fast, and then I printed some in fast plus tenacious. And so what I wanted to see, you can tell a little bit by the color, because the tenacious is a little bit more, a little bit like it's yellow, so it gives it, it's a little bit clearer. But I have so much lights that I cannot see anything. But, and I don't even know which one it is now. I put a cross, I think, on the, yeah, I put a cross on the tenacious. Alright, so we're gonna break his arm, and we're gonna break his finger. Torture starts. Alright, let's see. So, normal, just fast resin. Oh, and that snapped. And like, that completely snapped, and into multiple pieces. So that's a finger. And now we're gonna do his arm, and gonna see how much I can bend his arm before it goes. Well, let's do another finger. I don't know if I got it on camera, but here we go. Like you, and it just snaps. And that's the problem with resin. So those are and again, like, yeah. So those are, the fingers are tiny pieces, so they will break. Like, you can bend them quite a way before they break. But like something like an arm, like this arm, as soon as you can start getting a little bit, yeah, it just, you probably heard it. It just stank. Yeah. It just clack, and it just like snaps. And that's what I had with those guys. I had a guy on the base, and his feet were on double-sided tape, with the foam tape. Yep. Double-sided foam tape. It fell, and then the 2 feet stayed on the base. And I mean, I can, yeah, like the feet just pops. Like, it literally just, yeah, it's not. So that's the fast. Let's see now how our friend, the tenacious one, works. So let's take a finger. So that's the mix. Holy moly. There we go. So it did break. Still. But I can, I mean, yeah, I can bend it way more. Like this one, I'm almost completely backwards, and it's not broken yet. It's actually, holy moly. Like, let me, like,
Yeah.
And it's still not. I mean, like if I press it, here we go. If I press it, yeah, it snaps. But like that is, and the arm too. Like no, the arm I'm bending it like 45 degrees, and it's still not breaking. Like it's completely. Look, I completely distorted it, but it's not breaking. So that's more. Oh, that is so much better. And you see like the little back pieces too. I snapped it, but first I did snag on it and I just bent it. And I think like yeah, that is so much better. All right, I will never print anything like a miniature without using that anymore. Oh, that did so much. I mean, look at this. Like you cannot do this with resin, with just basic resin. It'll snap.
Mm.
So, anyways, here we go. So now I have 2 broken minis. Yay! But that was a cool experiment, and I'm happy I did it. So again, 5-to-1 ratio with the tenacious works a lot better. So, yay! Now, there was a little bit of news in the 3D printing department, and so I'll talk about this before we go into our actual news. Mars Pro 3 came out, or is coming out. Pre-orders, I think, are coming out soon. Awesome. 4K display, really high resolution. I watched today Uncle Jesse, and if you're not following him, you should if you're into 3D printing. It tests all the printers. He gets all the printers sent to him by all the people, and so yeah, all the manufacturer. So the problem is the board that is controlling that 3D printer is made by Elegoo. Is made by on the Elegoo Mars 3 is made by Shitubox. So they are the ones that do the Shitubox slicer, which you use to put the model in your printer.
Right.
They are the one who makes the board, so they lock the board. So if you do not have the latest version of Shitubox, you cannot print with the Mars 3, which is ridiculous. And so
is that a paid piece of software, or
you have a free version and you have a paid version. You have a pro version but I know that you cannot, like, you need the latest version. You cannot use an old version, which some printer, if you use the old version, that doesn't work. Some of the function that you had before now are on the pro side, and so it's just been a mess. So they've put up the statement, and they said that concerning the new Shitubox board firmware issue, Elegoo Mars 3, we have already following closely and have heard the idea and suggestion from all sides. We're actively communicating with Shitubox on the matter, blah blah blah. We are trying our best to find a solution, and so on and so forth. So that's the. So I'm a little bit, because that's the thing. I use Lychee, which I think is a lot better, especially for making supports, because I do those super quickly now. Like really, it's awesome. And so I am not happy that they locked it like this, and it's just wrong. And that's the kind of thing that if GW ever do 3D printing, that's the kind of thing they can do. It's like, hey, you want to print our stuff? You need to use that printer and that software, and it's all locked, and you cannot do anything else. And yeah, they I think maybe eventually they'll do it. I don't know. That's a conversation from another time. They might have to. They might never do it. Not sure. But anyway, so that's one of the big talking point lately in the 3D world. Also, they did a curing station. So I have a curing station behind there. I don't know if, yeah, probably not that yellow thing. Which is the Mercury Plus, is it? Yeah. The Mercury Plus, which is a curing and washing and curing station. They came out with the Mercury X, which is now a curing, separate curing station and washing station. And it's huge so that it can accommodate the new, bigger build plates from the bigger printer. So you can put your whole thing in there and you get your print and all this. So I think that one, it looks pretty cool too. I got mine, I don't. But if you're getting a Saturn or something like this, which is a lot bigger, then you might consider those. So yeah. That's... Yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, so I printed that pot for the thing. I've been toying with redoing in 3D, so I used the Fusion 360 to do my designs, and I'm redoing a shelf pot holder for my
paint rack.
Yep. But on the shelf, because I want it to be on the wall, not like the one I have. The one I have is, the problem is it's pretty deep, so yeah, it's taking a lot of space on my painting table. And I 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 9 8 9 8 9. I think it is 1 2 3 4 5. Yeah, there's only 5 rows, so 41 2 3. I think 43 is what I can fit on one rack. The new one that I've designed, I can put 60 on one rack, and it's against the wall, and it sticks out to about, I think it's like 60 millimeters, so 6 centimeters only from the wall. And so yeah, I will see to print one, because I'm pretty much done with the design, and I've optimized it so that it's not doesn't use as much filament as possible. And I think I have enough to make one shelf. So I'll probably start working on that eventually, probably maybe today or tomorrow. But I need to use my bigger printer, because I've made those as big as I could for the bigger printer.
Yeah.
So that I can make them like 30 centimeters long and all this. So yeah. So 3D printing, if you're not familiar with anything 3D printed, Uncle Jesse, very good source. There's another one that I follow, I don't have his name. He's really good too, and I'll put some links below probably, and in the show notes for the people listening on the podcast, to get, and so very interesting. A hobby by itself, a lot of people are saying. I would say yes and no. It's still not, I don't consider it as a different hobby. I think it's just complementary to what we're doing. It's
you can make it complementary to lots of other hobbies.
Yeah, well, I do a lot of pieces.
It's an add-on.
Yeah, well, a lot of pieces that I make is for the house.
Yeah.
Like actual things that I use that are, that are actually, designs and stuff that you can use on at your house. I have a Etsy page where I sell some bases that are 3D designed, and you can 3D print. PLA is probably the best to print those. I'm working on a series of to be printed in resin, but it's a lot different. And some like the little pot holder thing that I've made, and I think that's it. That's what's on there. But anyway, so yeah, I'll maybe put a link if people are interested. But yeah, so it's especially now you can find, and before I understand that people were considering it like a separate hobby, because it was, you would get a model and then you'll have to support it, and some people spend hours supporting minis, and I'm like, yeah, no way. But this is why I like Lychee, because you can support a mini in no time at all, and a lot of people now, they're doing their fully pre-supported. So you literally take it, put it in the software, and resin printer for that is awesome. Like you put it in the software, you put it in the printer. Like you put it in the software, you slice it, you put it in a printer, go, and then just walk away, come back, you have your minis, you're done. If you have a curing station, you just take it, dump it in the basket in the thing, cure it. It takes no time at all. It's like, yeah. So again, it's becoming a lot easier than it used to be. So yeah. And then terrain is still, because of the whole FDM is a little bit fiddly still. I've broken both my printers, and I need, well, no, just one. The other one has been really good. But yeah, so again, if you have any question on 3D printing, please leave a comment below, send emails, go on the Discord, ask questions. You can ask also on Twitter, message us, and I'll try to answer.
Message JJ, don't message me.
Well, message HobbyStreakers or me directly, yeah. But yeah. So we have some news for today. I only have a couple of news on my side.
Yeah.
So
I got a couple bits.
Luke Eddy, who was one of the developer of Star Wars Legion, left, or got fired, I should say, from Atomic Mass Games. So a lot of people are getting worried that it's gonna affect the game and all this, that the game is dead. So still not sure where I stand on all this. I mean, it's doing great, so I don't think they will kill it. That would be stupid.
The Star Wars license is basically a license to print money.
Yeah. No, and the game is good. I mean, the game is really good. The minis are getting really good. Yeah.
I played the first edition of Star Wars X-Wing.
Yeah.
I was heavily into that for a while.
Yeah, that was really nice.
I know that's a brilliant game.
Yeah.
I just couldn't keep up with the release pace.
No, and Legion is pretty good too, and I think that I don't think it's dead. I think they'll keep working on it, but yeah, it's a big news. We'll see. I'll put his statements saying that he's no longer working for Star Wars Legion, X-Wing, or Armada, blah blah blah. Unfortunately, not the decision that I made, so I'm guessing he got fired, which sucks because he was a prominent figure. So anyways, the other thing that I wanted to talk about in my news is Rome Total War. They are making a board game for Rome Total War. So I don't know what level of miniature and tabletop war game type they will do. I am really interested to find out. They said that they did complete iteration of the game before they settle on this one. So I am very curious. The first one, they said it was too centered around the economical portion of the game, which is you build your empire and all this. So then they changed, and then again they changed. And so I'm hoping that it's going to be battles, that you're going to have your little armies, and it's not going to be risk level, like just the little block but actual like miniatures. And I don't know how far they're going to push it. It's done by, what is it? PSC Games, which is a British company. And it's Plastic Soldier company, basically. So yeah, it's a UK indie developer. So they've done a few board games. They have a few rules for big war games for like World War II and World War I and stuff like that. So I don't know. We'll see where it goes. But yeah, I'm intrigued. I saw that this morning. They should do a formal release today. So I'll try to see if I can find a video or something or a link, and I'll post that again below. And that's it. Up to you now. What news do you have for us?
More dragons.
More dragons, yay!
So then,
big ones?
Smaller ones?
Smaller ones?
Smaller ones.
They're still big, but they're smaller.
So the big dragons we were talking about last time are on like big old bases, so they're going to be like centerpiece models. But these ones, they look
better.
I reckon they're roughly about that long.
Okay. So 15, 20 centimeters maybe? Something like that?
Just like judging by the fact that they've got a bloke sat on the top, and I know
yeah.
how big a bloke is, I can go about that big.
Yeah. Alright, cool.
So they had a character version, and they showed off 2 versions of like the regular guy. So the discussion that I've been having with my gaming group is, how are we going to get that as a consumer? And I'm sat there going, well, the Dracoth Guard box has 3 different unit types depending on what arms you put on the guys.
Okay.
But you've also got the option to build one of the 2 guys in that box as a character. You just put a different torso on, and you put a different
so you think it's going to come, one box is going to have the
option? I reckon that you're going to have 2 dragon bodies in a box, and you're going to have the option to build one of the riders and armor the dragon as a character.
So that you get 2 boxes, you have a character and 3 dragon.
Yeah.
And then that's the 3 are considered like a whatever, a line or something, right?
A unit.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Huh.
But
that would work.
The fun thing about that is that the minimum unit sizes tend to be box.
So it would be 2?
So it'd be minimum 2 in a unit.
Okay.
But then you're using half of your box to make a character.
So then you only have 1, and then you just don't have a unit. So you need to buy another box.
You've got an understrength unit. Yeah.
So then you need to buy another box, and then can you have more than 1 character though?
Yeah.
Okay.
It might be redundant.
Yeah.
But the article for that also said, if you make the Knight Draconis your general, that unlocks having an entire army of dragon riders. And I was like, yes, please, thank you, I'm in, sold. I'll take it.
All right. Cool.
They had an article up today with some of the rules for the big dragons as well, and they look like they're going to be fun.
All right, cool.
The other GW news we've got is we've got the 2nd edition Killteam box.
Yes.
Up for pre-order on Saturday.
Yeah, and they said if you pre-order during the first weekend, you are guaranteed to have a box.
Yes. So the internet was like,
crazy.
They're doing another FOMO launch box. It's not going to be available. And they're like,
gobble, 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 gobble.
We hear you. We've made a lot, but just in case we haven't,
you'll still get.
You order one, we'll make you one.
Yeah. So is it like in Indominus? Is that what they did with that?
For Indomitus last year, they made a lot,
and
then went, shit, we didn't make enough.
All right.
And then they pushed all their other pre-orders back a couple of weeks because this was like middle of COVID.
Yeah, and then they made
possibly
more.
about 4 people in the factory.
Yeah.
So they had to push everything back because they're keeping minimum people in the factory so they can social distance and all that. Yep. So to retool the whole factory to chuck a load of more Indomitus boxes out. and they don't want to do that again. I don't think.
Yeah. So
they
you think they already planned like some extended time for manufacturing already?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that would make sense. Like they say, okay, this is how much we've made now. This is how much we expected to sell. Let's put another
they will have
months of
made
manufacturing.
all of these. They'll have made all of these months ago.
No, yeah, but I mean, like, because they're saying that you will get them eventually, but not necessarily at the release. But if you pre-order during that time, you're supposed to have one. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
which is like an actual pre-order.
It's nice. Yeah. That's really nice.
As opposed to what they normally do, they call it a pre-order, but it's not a pre-order. It's a pay for it the week before it comes out.
There is one more news we forgot to talk about, and that's you dropping non-oil on your table, dude. What happened? What happened? Like, seriously. And you know what? After you talked about this, I had dropped mine. Well, I did not drop mine. That's not true.
This was 2 days.
After saying
2 days, 2.5 days after saying, I've never dropped I've never spilled any. And then I was
mine, the problem was it was almost empty already. So when I grabbed the top and I pushed it back, it flipped the entire bottle. And I was like, you gotta be kidding me. So yeah, I dropped mine too. Well, flipped it. Sorry.
Just
for the intermission.
Another bit of news.
Yes.
That we're gonna skip that bit because
we
don't have anything to talk about.
Yeah,
and
then I have
the guys who make Infinity, Corvus Belli.
Yes.
They've got injection molding plastic for their.
I was surprised
new release.
as hell. I mean,
and it's looking good.
But weren't you freaking shocked? Because as I'm like, Corvus Belli, they're just like, they're like, you know what? We got this metal thing down. We can make super nice metal minis. We're never gonna change. And this is literally what I thought that was their motto. Like, we do metal. And now they're like, oh, we'll supplement it with plastic. And I was like, what the? So yeah. So I was, and it looks nice. Did you see that machine that they used? The weird like press thing, and like it looks like a giant fridge, and they put the thing inside. I don't know.
No, I only saw like the picture
of where they opened the mold.
This is the little robot crawler thing.
Yeah.
I only saw that.
Like,
I haven't looked that much in.
But yeah, I was really surprised. Yeah,
looks good.
So I received my Gamers whatever game. They always go through a company for Kickstarter. There is one company in the US that distribute the Kickstarter. Basically, they've gotten so good at it that everybody goes through them now. And they asked me on the 30th, so yeah, 10 days ago.
Friday.
Yeah. They asked me what is that could confirm my address for Defiance. So Infinity Defiance, for those who don't know, Kickstarter from Corvus Belli, and it is a dungeon crawler, and there's tons of minis from the Infinity line, but it's a dungeon crawler, so I thought that was pretty cool. I backed it. This is wave 2, but I've asked it to be all sent together, so I'm waiting on my giant freaking box of like 20 to 30 kilo freaking box coming in. But yeah, I'm hoping soon to get the next step, which is your order as shipped. I was like, yes. So yeah, hopefully by the time we record the next podcast, I would have received those, and maybe started painting them, maybe at least assembled, and we'll see if we do a game night with the family.
Hiding in the box.
Yeah.
You'll be hiding in the box in the background somewhere.
Yeah, be like, whoop. Probably no. I'm like, yeah. I think it's gonna be like a decent size. Gloomhaven maybe a little bit bigger because there's the expansion and everything with it. So, but yeah, so really excited about that too. I think that's it. I gonna have to go very, very soon because I got an appointment. But yeah, it was fun.
The normal people on Twitter and Instagram have got their preview copies of all the stuff that's coming up.
Yeah,
from workshop in the next couple of weeks. So
GW,
have a look at the shiny models that they're painting.
GW, come on, give us a box. Give us a box.
Hook me up.
Just like a small one, just like one model. I'll take it.
Give me the goddamn dragons.
Elegoo, Siraya, same thing. You know, it's like I already have a printer. Send him one. Send him a printer. Send me a new one to me. I'll take it. Send me some resin. I'll take anything. This is why we do this. We don't want to make money. We just want free stuff. Free model, more model to paint. Yay! But yeah, same thing. Atomic Mass game. Look, I'm painting Marvel, like tons of it. So just send me a Spider-Man.
It's the show of what we've painted time.
All right, well,
my favourite segment. I didn't get around to my annihilators.
Oh, you didn't? So did you finish the other guys?
I've got just the little spots of blue where I've gone over when I was basing them to touch up. So when we finish recording,
you're gonna do that
go
off screen
do those because it's like the last bit, but all the highlights on the gold and the red are done on these, so they're all ready to go. And I've magnetized them during the week, so they can just go straight in a box. They can't go straight in the box. I've got to varnish them first as well.
I made little progress on Mr. Falcon.
Mr. Wilson.
Mr. Falcon, Captain America. Here we go. That was gonna bother me, but he's looking good. Not too hard to paint. I don't know if I'll do highlights on the wings, on the feather because they're metal, but yeah, I might do some highlights on there. So yeah, it'll probably take another session because I don't paint as much because I talk too much. But yeah, fun little session. I hope you guys enjoyed. Again, and you will hear it probably in the outro. I need to review the outro, but anyway, like, subscribe, comment, all that jazz. Click the buttons, all the buttons, not the dislike, but all the other buttons you can click and just click everywhere. Click everywhere.
Follow us on Twitter. Join our Discord.
Yeah. Twitter, we have more followers than we are following on our hobby streakers, which I think is awesome because we are following 106 people roughly, and we are followed by 111 now. So, yay! Awesome. I was like, yay! We've got into that.
If all of you were following us on YouTube, we'd have a live stream by now.
Yeah, we'll definitely. I'll keep working on this. I've done a little bit of work on OBS to look into it and to delay. So yeah, on OBS you can delay some of the videos because my video, which is recorded locally, won't have a delay, but yours coming into via Skype will have a delay. So I need to put the delay on mine and probably a different delay on one of yours because I know that one of yours is a little bit ahead even as we talk. So I will have to work on that.
That's slow.
Yep. So we will have to work on this. Just basically probably we'll do an out of sync podcast like a week where we're not supposed to do a podcast and work on that and just connect and just try it out and do a fake live stream.
You guys can join in and watch us troubleshoot tech issues.
Yeah, we can do that too. And just we probably won't advertise it. It's just gonna be a last minute thing where we're gonna be like, hey, we're troubleshooting. If you wanna come and see what the hell is going on, just come in. Most probably via YouTube is pretty much what we're looking at, because I don't want to go through the trouble of doing an old Twitch thing again and all this. But yeah, again, if you're interested, comment below, send us emails, Twitters, whatever. Enjoy, keep on streaking, enjoy the hobby, have fun, please. We've seen a lot of posts again, really negative stuff. So don't.
Be nice to people.
Yeah, enjoy it. Just enjoy the hobby.
It's toy soldiers. Yeah. Chill out.
Look at this guy. It's awesome. He's awesome. It doesn't matter. He's awesome. Alright, well, thanks a lot, Liam. Thanks, everybody. See you later. Bye. This has been an episode of the Hobbystreakers. If you're following us on YouTube, please leave a comment, like, subscribe, and don't forget to ring that bell for any future episode. If you're following us on a podcast, please leave a positive review. Thank you, and don't forget to keep that hobby streak going.